we're back.
Welcome.
This is our first stream of the new year.
It is.
Happy New Year.
2025 starting out strong.
Yes, Eric made us promise because he wanted 2025 to be really good. We had to start it with ranking.
Yes.
We do. We
so
do.
we
Hey,
agreed.
please.
I fully recognize the power this has over people.
No, we have quite a few shows. So we have this week, next week probably that we'll dedicate to this. The week after we have Badonkagong, the last Thursday of the month. So
So we have a hard cutoff.
we'll see if we can get it all done in 2 streams, but we might have to go into February.
You think?
February.
You never know. We might.
Maybe not.
Look at me again, Aaron. Interesting.
Anyway, welcome everybody.
Your face.
I think we will be having some quick polls as we go through and try to decide, depending on how fast we talk on everything.
Yeah.
So feel free to voice your thoughts on some shows, especially if you've seen them. We may talk about some spoilers a little bit in this on some shows, but hopefully not deep diving into some things.
It's hard to not talk about specific plot points and stuff like that. We'll try to skirt around it as much as we can, but if we have to outright point something out, we'll try to refrain as much as we can.
Gotcha. So otherwise, anything else? I see there's a few things with some sound being a little off, so we'll try to mess with that here before we get into things too much. But Calvin just said skirt.
Skirt.
But we have, how many shows is it? I think Jake has a number. Jake, do you remember?
There's like
It was over 30 new shows.
30, I believe it's 32 new shows and 29 shows are up for re-rank.
All right, 32 shows with 29 re-ranks. Mainly shows that have come back that we're just going to reevaluate and see where they stand by the end of everything. So, all right.
Yep.
Are we all set? Everyone good?
let's go.
Much as
I
I
believe
can
so.
be.
Are we doing this alphabetical?
Yeah.
We usually do, right?
All right. Well, then let's start. MCU show. Agatha All Along.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That is our new first listed show now because of the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agatha all along.
All right. Well, what did you guys think of this? Rick, you didn't watch this, right?
I did not.
Okay.
So I will sit out.
Aha. I think I really enjoyed Agatha All Along. I wasn't sure what it was going to be about, really. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, you know what I really want is an Agatha show.
It was
but-
something that I didn't know that I wanted.
Yeah, but after watching it and like going through the actual show, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of want more now.
No, agree. Didn't have any expectation. Wish I could bring that to more things that I'm watching with no
Sure.
expectation because I thought it did pretty well. So yeah, for me, I guess it would, I never know how to categorize these, but I guess I would go A. Like, I didn't think it was like a perfect show, but it certainly wasn't bad for me. B is for bad, so I go A.
B is
B
for
for
bad.
Now I know why you don't like ranking.
B is for bad.
He just doesn't understand the rules.
What
You
does
did
C
really
stand for,
bad in
Eric?
school then.
Is C for classic?
Yeah, classic.
Okay.
That's the word you picked.
Yeah, I would agree. It's for A for me as well. Like there were maybe 1 or 2 things that like just gave me a little bit of a speed bump, but overall, like I think it was pretty great. Yeah, enjoyed the characters. I think the casting was great. The storylines were compelling. I loved just getting more of those characters and seeing more like background stuff. If that makes sense. Learning more about like the magic and stuff and how it all works. It's very cool.
No, I agree. I think that some characters, some stories, some twists, like there's just a lot of things in it that I really enjoyed, really liked. It didn't spin its wheels a lot or anything. It told the story I think that it was wanting to tell. I'd give it an A for Agatha. So
I'm happy with that because I get a pleasant feeling whenever a show goes into the same rank as its first letter.
Yeah.
a pleasant feeling.
Yeah, A for Agatha.
I do believe Melanie was also in that one. She said she was between an A and a B. It was so much fun. I'm now a large Aubrey Plaza fan. I really enjoy watching Kathryn Hahn in this role, that kinda, but not really like her typical roles in comedies. And they did amazing with a lower budget.
Yeah. No, I think the twisted comedy with the very real stakes in this, it kind of fit the tone very well for what it was going for, I think.
It also hung a lot of real estate or a lot of legwork it was doing on a singular song that they sang often. When you do that, you do take a risk of being like, oh man, what if it sucks? Or what if it's not a really good earworm? But I thought it was a pretty good earworm. Throughout the watching that, I would find myself humming it or singing it between shows. So
Yeah.
that was also pretty successful.
Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and like you said, they used it in some various ways, and I think it was really good. All right, so we're all good with Agatha?
Yep.
Did we have a poll? What did they say? B for Agatha
B.
from them, but it's not there, so we get A. Ha ha!
Ah.
There is a hype train going over on Twitch, so
Ah,
thank you so much for that.
Thank you guys
Thanks
so
so
much for the
much.
hype train. One more minute, we can get to level 2.
We're almost there.
Oh, man. All right. Next up is Avatar: The Last Airbender from Netflix.
Yes, the live action.
Oh yeah, that was this year. Wow.
Yeah. It was early on, but
Now,
there.
we have Avatar: The Last Airbender, the original one here.
yes,
We have that in S.
Yes.
Where it belongs.
indeed.
So where do you guys put
This one does not, for me, belong in S at all.
Okay.
At
all.
I mean, I enjoyed it. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't seen the original. Because I had seen the original, it immediately invites comparison, and it's just hard to compare to an S rank show for me.
Gotcha. So you immediately rank them initially
But
from
it
the
can
get-go.
be done.
Because it's I immediately have to compare it because I've already seen the story. If I hadn't seen the story, I probably would have had a little bit more grace with it.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm trying.
So no, that's fine. So, what letter grade would you put it in then?
Oh, I don't know. It did some things that I liked, but a lot of the changes that it had made, I some of them I didn't understand. It wouldn't, for me, probably be in an A. I'm between a B and a C for it, probably.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm sitting too.
I was
Was it
thinking
more or
B.
less successful than Netflix's Cowboy Bebop, do you think? Because that's in C right now.
More successful.
But it could be more successful and still in a C. That's possible.
Possible.
It's true. We do rank things internally.
Yeah. Like, I have no idea what my feelings would be like about the One Piece Netflix show, but because I hadn't seen the original, like, it's up there for me, you know? So that's why these lists exist. They're personal lists, you know? They're not for being objective.
It is
So,
interesting to like what did people think of this that watched it that have no idea what the original story was like
Yeah.
versus the adaptation into live action. And I often think the same thing where like if I didn't watch Death Note, what would I like with the Death Note live action movie or
Sure.
those kind of things, like Cowboy Bebop. If I didn't know Cowboy Bebop, would I have liked it or not?
Yeah, both of those were also Netflix productions.
Yeah, same thing I think with like the Halo show. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't have any Halo thoughts of what Halo is and Master Chief, what would I have liked with the show and stuff too? So
Yeah.
I think with what it did, like even if there's some things I maybe didn't like change-wise in the story and stuff too, there is a lot of stuff that I did like that they did do. And like thinking about the horrors of the movie,
Yeah.
I think I'll put this at a B. I think it's still a decent story. I think if you don't have the knowledge of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think it does stuff really well with the story it's telling. So yeah, I'll go with B. And they got the names right.
Yeah, that is true.
I have some low bars on this one.
I think I'll go with you. There's definitely some easy things that they did not fail at. So yeah, I'll say a B as well.
Yeah, I really loved his casting. I enjoyed how much it stuck close to the musical language of Avatar. I didn't really think about trying to compare it to the movie. Yeah, I'd probably go low B, I would say.
And then Rick, do you watch this one?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
B it is.
then it's a B.
Okay,
I believe poll-wise was CD area.
gotcha.
Someone's going to come along, see that, and be like, they put the cartoon in B, but that in series is with that.
Yeah, right. Netflix. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, this one might be a little tougher. We have Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, we're not done with this show.
We're not finished.
We've seen a decent amount of it, though. At this
We
point.
have.
Yeah.
What season are you guys in?
1.
Okay.
Can I just rank the intro?
Ooh.
B?
S, baby.
Because that's an S.
Oh, okay.
Which we
sure.
should do intro rankings at some point. That would be fun. We
Yeah,
should,
we could do intro rankings. That would be fun.
Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I do think it's done pretty well. I don't think I've ever liked Wasp more.
Yeah.
Like, I think Janet in the show is done fairly well. I've only had one episode where I was like,
Sure.
this isn't gelling well with me. But all the other times, I'm like, I really like this character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really love Janet. I really love Hulk and Thor. And
I would say that I probably have never loved Thor and Hawkeye more
Yeah.
in this iteration versus others.
Trying to think of where I want to put it.
I rank it in an A, not
Mm.
just for the alliteration, but I also have the entire breadth of the thing to pull from,
Gotcha.
Sure.
having seen the whole thing.
Yeah, I'd be at an A as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it all,
Avengers assemble.
but I think what I've seen so far, I'd put it at an A. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story's
Real
been
fun
good.
show.
I've enjoyed a lot of that, and I'm intrigued in where the story's gonna go. Now, if they don't land some of the stuff, then I might take it down a bit. But no, I'm really liking it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm probably going to put it in a B. Looking at the other shows that I'm comfortable with being in B, I think it belongs there for me, such as like Master of the Universe, Invincible, those kind of things. I think it goes well there for me. It's not my favorite versions of every character, but I agree, Eric. It really puts a different flavor on Thor.
Yeah.
I really enjoy him a lot in this. Seeing more of a connection between Hawkeye and other specific characters is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's not something that we have gotten a lot in other shows that we've seen. I am very open to it going up further in my own personal rankings later.
Yeah, me too.
I just haven't seen it all.
So far we
intro
haven't
is
haven't
fire.
finished the story, but so far it's doing really interesting things with Black Widow.
Mhm.
But also maybe because of its when it was made or just its target audience, like it can also kind of disrespect Black Widow a little bit too in its shot choices.
There's a lot of characters that
Gets a little
get targeted in that
Code
way.
Geass shot. For
Yeah.
me.
But
that's the only distraction I'll have sometimes
sure.
from the actual story.
So
So
sounds like
that's,
it's. Go ahead.
No, what did you rank again, Rick?
I think we have 3 A's.
Everyone did an A except you.
Okay.
So we'll put it in A.
Put an A.
I didn't see what the poll did. A for
A.
thank you guys.
Alliteration.
All right. Next up is Creature Commandos. This one we just
Oh, yeah.
finished.
We just
so this
finished
is
this.
fairly.
Yeah. Like,
Creature Commandos. Yeah, the thing I mean, this is James Gunn to a T, but I like how it's a mature show for immature people. Like in its comedy, but very mature in its seriousness.
yeah.
That makes sense? Like there's almost two competing tones there that when I think about those two tones, I go James Gunn and
Yeah.
I like that I can look at that as an individual artist and see that. So
It's very irreverently reverent,
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's very serious in how it deals with certain tones,
Yeah.
but other characters don't care at all.
Yeah.
Sure.
And sometimes you get a little whiplash from
Yeah.
like a real serious moment to something just crazy and off the wall that happens.
Yeah.
While you're thinking, we did have a super chat from Mintberry Crunch for $4.99. Says, I was just watching your last Airbender reaction where Iroh sings to his son. So many tears. Cheers, boys. Hope you and yours are doing well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mintberry.
Thank you.
All right. Well, for Creature Commandos, I think I'll put it at a B.
Yeah.
I think. I think overall, I think I enjoyed it. I think it was a fun show. I think I'm just waiting and really wanting to see what they do with it, and that I don't know. I think I'm just weary of the DC universes.
Sure.
I'm excited to see what they're going to do. This is the first chance that we've had in the new DC universe with Gunn. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a pretty good show, but I think I'd put it in a B.
Okay. Yeah. I'm right there with you with the DC universes and not really being sure and not feeling like I can get attached to shows or characters or versions of characters, I should say. I would probably be at a high C.
I see.
Not just for alliteration, but yeah, it's a good palate appetizer, I should say. It's a good appetizer for what I think the Gunniverse is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason I don't put it in B. I mean, I do stand by my criticism of not liking the music, but I think it is a matter of taste, not necessarily of quality. And it didn't necessarily give a negative effect to my enjoyment, but it certainly wasn't a positive one. So I'll probably stick low B for Creature Commandos for me.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's 3 Bs.
Yeah.
All right.
The next one is just me and Calvin. I guess Jake over there. But
Yeah.
it is Dan to Dan.
Yeah, definitely Jake over there.
Dan to Dan.
Dan to Dan. I would post these in the evenings after you guys watch them and wonder at the thumbnails and the titles. I'll tell you that.
I did not know what to expect from this show. And then it started, and I was like, Jake, what are we watching?
I was.
And I'm either real into this or I don't know, maybe this is too much.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like that first season, like it went various directions and had a lot in it, but it never felt like it was doing things it shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it never treaded ground that I didn't think that it could manage, you know?
Sure.
I was never afraid of it dropping off a cliff because it didn't know where it was going.
I definitely was afraid when it first started that I had pushed and suggested a show
We were all
and messed
afraid.
up real bad, but it pulled it off.
No, yeah. I don't know.
Good.
I'm between 2 letters, but I'm debating on which ones I want to make it.
I'm
S and F.
between an S and an A.
I'm also between an S and an A.
I'm also between an S and an A.
I think
that's awesome to hear.
I think I lean A because I don't like the way it ended. Not that I don't like the content. It's just that it's a weird choice if you know what it is.
Sure.
It just kind of stops.
I mean, it's going to come back, so I think maybe I can go with an A and wait and see where we're going to be later in the show. But, like, for that show and where it started, and then having, like, that one episode where, like, I cried, and I was surprised that I was, like, tearing up about it.
Yeah.
Like, that surprised me, that it hit me like it did. So I think I'll go with A.
Well, I'm gonna say S because I'm very comfortable with it being there among shows like Gravity Falls and Mob Psycho and slightly above Jujutsu Kaisen for me right now.
I think I'm gonna stick with A, but I have a feeling it'll be S by season 2.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay,
Playing the long game.
So
Long
A
game, man.
for between the 3 of us.
Okie dokie. Dun, dun, dun.
I think you're underestimating how much I enjoyed it, Arcadian.
All right. Next up is Delicious in Dungeon,
Delicious in Dungeon.
which I think I summarized in our last reaction to that, where it's like a comfort food for me.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy eating it. It gets the job done. It nourishes me, but nothing really stands out about it.
She's not gonna get you a Michelin star.
No.
Yeah.
Like I think the characters are interesting, and there's like just enough there to make me interested in them, but not enough to make me fall in love with them. The action is fine, but it's not something that I would go out and seek. It's just kind of that across the board for me. So I would rank it as a C currently.
Okay.
I kind of agree with all of those. I would probably throw it up to a B for me just because of how much I enjoyed its takes on various creatures and how it would bring it into this world and make it feel individualistic. Sometimes whenever we have D&D stuff, I feel like I'm really bringing in a lot to a show, but that one would kind of like stop me. Wait, don't bring that here. I have my own thing, you know? So I like that so much. I'm between a B and a C, low B, high C.
I agree the world building is definitely the high point
Yeah.
of the show.
See, when you were saying comfort food, I was kind of thinking of like, you know, when you have comfort food, like this is like, it's okay anytime. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those, like that, like Star Wars was like my comfort food, where like I would just put on the Star Wars movie and it would make me comfortable. It'd help me fall asleep, you know, like it's one of my
Sure.
favorite things. So
Well,
It's
no,
like a safe place.
like for me, comfort food is like, I shouldn't be eating this, but
Oh,
it gets the job done.
okay.
it gets the job. That's not comfort food.
That's just, I guess we have different definitions of comfort food.
Like maybe you shouldn't be eating it, sure, but it's because like it makes you feel better, not like it gets the job done.
I would
right?
say,
Sure,
like,
but you're right. Like I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're ranking food, you have to bring in nutrition too, right?
Dude, I don't know. Depends on what you're ranking.
But I mean, this is art. You know,
When we
art
ranked
can,
pizza,
it can make you feel
we
any way
never
you want
once
it to.
talked about the nutritious value of said pizza.
Sure,
Wow,
yeah.
that's
It was
true.
more about the taste and the Calvin, what's your favorite word?
what?
Your mouth feel.
Oh, I don't use that very often.
That's your. I hear you use it daily. Okay.
Like a tuna fish sandwich is my comfort food, but high grade sushi I would prefer if I had it.
It's the problem of ranking.
I think
Is this the best thing I've ever had? Well, then it's lesser.
I think the show itself is like fine. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters and stuff. I really like the creativity of like making the meals and like the way the creatures and stuff and the world worked and all that.
Yeah.
I think I would make it. I think I'd put it at a B. I think.
Okay. I really enjoyed the feel of it being
Mouthfeel.
no, not a mouth feel, an eye and ear feel, and sometimes tummy feel. Just the idea that these characters are making do. They're trying to stay within the boundaries of the rule set of the game that they're playing, but they're trying to, put their own spin on it. They're trying to conserve resources and, have fun playing the game with each other and not just playing the plot, if that makes sense. I would put it at a B. It didn't wow me like incredibly in any way, but I like what Eric said, just the various little tweaks and twists that they put into building the world and how it deals with monsters and stuff like that. It's it's very entertaining.
I also look at some of my favorite shows of all time. Almost none of them are there because of their first season. So I think it's a good foundation. So if I have it in B with the potential of raising it up later, maybe I will.
Sure.
Okay. So is that B then?
2 C's and 2 B's.
Oh, is it 2 C's?
You and Rick, right?
I said B.
Oh, did you? Okay.
That's 3 B's and a C,
All
right?
right. B then.
So B.
B it is.
B.
Delicious in Dungeon.
S ranked
Really?
by Chad.
I know it's really popular.
Good. That's awesome. I love when people's lists differ for me. That's when it's interesting.
Like I've seen pictures of those characters out in the real world, which I don't get super often with anime characters.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Next up is Dune Prophecy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a dip of your toes, both Eric and Aaron, into a very big universe.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, and it's
Thank-
kind of hard to separate my enjoyment of it from the movies in a way too, right?
I get you.
I think the show was fine. I don't know if I would have sought after it had we not reacted to it.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a lot of stuff in it that's pretty good, but I also sometimes just kind of feel like lost in this big universe, I guess, a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things I'm trying to make sure I keep track of and stuff. And I know I say that with like having like Star Wars be the same thing, where it's like, oh, there's this big universe I'm tracking, but I think I've been living through that for so much longer that I'm already attached to it. So I'm sure a lot of people who watch Dune and stuff, they're seeing things that they know and characters they've heard of and all these things that they already like kind of understand. So sometimes I think I get lost in the sauce of it all. You know what I mean?
I feel like you're coming into it in the middle rather than in the beginning.
Yeah,
I think
a little bit.
I personally think it's absolutely correct if you're bringing a lot of love of Star Wars in, and that inflates your Star Wars shows. I think that's the correct way of going about it. So like because I don't love Dune as much as I do something like that, it doesn't get that advantage. That sucks, but man, it's just part of how I'm doing it, I guess. So I think that's fair. I would probably say C for me. And it's that high, probably at the feet of Travis, the actor that we love from
Travis Fimmel.
Fimmel, yeah.
I really enjoyed him.
I enjoyed him so much.
Yeah.
And I felt like there were some twists and turns that were cool, but not like again, we're being forced to do this. I'm being forced to do this. It's not the best thing I've ever seen at all.
Sure.
So I'm comfortable with C.
Okay.
I think I was gonna go for C as well. Like I don't think it's a bad show. I think it looks really good.
It looks amazing. Yeah.
I'm curious to see like that and how it fits in with the movies and what they do with like some of the story bits and stuff too. So, but yeah, I think I could go with C.
I agree with that. I agree with everything you guys said. I don't know that much more about the Dune like universe, that world that is being introduced kind of to us there, but I agree with what Aaron said. It's probably not something that I would seek out on my own, but watching it with you guys and the theory crafting and everything like that, it was a lot of fun.
I did have fun with that.
But it feels like a season 1, where some of the other things that I've ranked today didn't feel so much like a season 1, like they were setting up the main story for season 2. It feels like an act 1 of a larger story. So
that's how I felt about the first movie.
I feel very okay with it being in C right now.
Yeah, I get you.
Rick, you didn't watch this, right?
Nope.
Okay. I'd be interested to see your opinion on it. Having read more of the books and stuff.
I've only read the first one.
More of the books.
Okay.
All right.
So I haven't finished the first one.
I believe we're all at C then.
Yep. Okay. So if we even those out, it's like kind of in the C.
Probably in the C range. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because people are going to vote for C and D in the CD section.
Alrighty. Next in alphabetical order is Echo.
Echo.
Echo?
Echo.
Yeah,
Echo.
Which I really enjoyed. I had no ideas really what it was going to be.
Yeah.
I was very pleasantly surprised. The dynamics between some characters in that were very enjoyable. Seeing different sides of people. And
yeah, I also enjoyed the Native American culture in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that has Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin in it, like, just fucking pushes it up for me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Anything.
No, I mean, he's a great actor. I love seeing him play that character so much. But I did like the story of Echo and, like, her, the relationships with the people in the town. Like, her, I don't remember all the relationships exactly, but, like, there was, like, there was
the grandmother.
The grandmother. There was the one guy who was, like, I don't think her dad, but was, like, kind of, like, watched out for her a lot, too, or that owned the shop or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was her. That was, like, her great uncle or grandfather or something like that.
But like just the relation, and then like you said, tying it back to like when we watched the rugby or whatever game it was they were playing.
Yeah, dude, that was sweet.
Oh, it was
not lacrosse, right?
Yeah, it was lacrosse.
Was it lacrosse?
I'm pretty sure it was lacrosse.
Yeah.
But when we went back and we saw that happening and stuff too, like that was a really cool moment in the show too, and it really built upon a Native American
came to really cool,
like tribal history and stuff, which I thought was really cool too.
I also
like the she's missing a leg and everything too, and like the things they had the Echo doing and everything. Like I love the train, heist thing.
The train heist was really
that
cool.
was cool. Like there's a lot of really cool elements to this show, and I thought the story was fun.
The skating rink
Yeah,
was
the
an
skating
awesome
rink.
sequence. I really loved that a lot. I actually just watched this like last week with Carmen.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
catching her up
rewatched. Yeah,
on
that's right.
all of the MCU and kind of connected shows and stuff, and I like it even more on the second watch through. It's really great.
Hmm.
I'm a B.
You're a B?
I'm a B.
Okay. I'd put it in A personally.
I'm between the two. Dang it. Rick, you didn't watch this one either, right?
I didn't, but E for Echo. No,
No,
I'm just kidding.
absolutely wrong.
I'll go B.
Okay.
I'll go B. Like I don't think I think it did some really good things. If I'm looking at C as the average, I think it was above average in like my enjoyment and everything for it. But I think there's like some other things the other ones have done better. So I'll go B.
Sure.
B.
BBC, so B.
BBA.
It's a B.
BBA, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Next
one
up.
is Fallout.
I think this is just me and Aaron,
Yeah,
right?
It was
you
just you and
two,
me,
yep.
man. This show, like, I think really captured like the feel of the game,
Mm-hmm.
like the themes and the tongue in cheek, the tone of it, like all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
it had some great actors in it.
It did. And I think it handled the, like you said, the theme and the feel of it, the tone, the dark comedy, just the dark
Yeah.
without the comedy.
That one robot.
Yeah.
Like I loved it. Voiced by Barry, I think it was, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I love that so much.
Matt Berry.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say Bill Hader.
No,
no,
not
Because I do that all the
not
time.
that Berry.
Where
I'm
do I
between
wanna
two.
put this?
I could easily see it being one given another season.
I think so. Whenever we had up for Game Awards, there was two shows I had seen that were on the listing, and I was like, man, both those are really good. I
Yeah.
could see both of those winning. So I think along with that, I could see both of them being in the same tier. So I'll say S.
Okay.
That's my reasoning.
Yeah.
It's high praise.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the action.
It's
I enjoyed
really
Goggins.
fun.
Goggins was great.
Walton Goggins is amazing.
And they had I love the story element, the way they told the story a lot.
Mhm.
It was back and forth between like you get this bit of information and then back to this bit of information.
Yeah.
It was kind of like watching Lost,
Yeah.
where like when you watch Lost and you're like, well, now we're gonna get this off the island, now we're
High
gonna get this
praise.
on the island,
Yeah.
and like so, and I'm like, oh
Sure.
man,
No, it was really, really good. I think you've convinced me, Aaron. It was so much fun. I'm looking forward to season 2 so much.
I mean, I had no idea what to expect from it,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed all of it.
Sure.
So I'll just put it there.
Nothing that I hated about it. S.
All right.
A from chat.
Mm.
I mean, out of like Rick, how we talk about video game like adaptations in
Mhm.
general. I think
Yeah.
Fallout is like one of the best like
One of the best.
adaptations. Like it.
Nice.
It just felt like I'm watching something that could be just the Fallout video game. You
Yeah.
know?
Felt like a live action cutscene the whole time.
That is our first S of the year.
S
yeah.
of the year. S of the last year.
Yeah, last year.
Well, sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Of the stream. I should
Will it be the last?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Well, let's go to the next one with Freerin.
Freerin. So I was so close to dropping this show. Thank God for the Rick rule.
the 4 episode.
Because
Yep.
I did not
One time that it saved you.
I did not enjoy it's never been wrong. I did not enjoy those first 3 episodes, but the 4th one had one moment in it that was just enough for me to keep going, and I'm so glad I did because
This is why sometimes you gotta go longer than 4. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's all right. Once we got introduced to like the full party, it really started picking up. Just a wonderful. I don't know how to describe it. It's not exactly slice of life. It's kind of like Delicious in Dungeon, where it's a D&D adventure, basically.
Sure.
But it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's about connections and about like living.
I agree. Delicious in Dungeon, I felt like its world building was up here, but for this characters are up here.
Yeah.
Its world building is slightly less for me,
Sure.
but the characters I care about more.
Although some of the world building stuff is really
Oh
interesting.
no,
like
still really cool. No knock against it.
I think the magic system is cool. I think the way they handle demons is really interesting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
agreed.
Because I think a lot of shows would have taken it in another direction.
Yeah.
And it was unexpected to me that they kind of stuck with their guns.
Mm-hmm. I also really enjoyed the dub cast for that show for Furin.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
And like the animation went so hard
Oh yeah,
at times when
Dude,
it
yeah.
didn't
Really
need
did.
to.
mage fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, but
the-
also just putting on a coat
yeah. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
sometimes, right? Like it just was stunning.
Fabric.
They would often do something where you're like, well, that wasn't easy.
Yeah, fabric is so difficult to animate.
But for me, I think it goes into A.
Okay.
I would agree with A.
I was right there with you with it. Like I enjoyed Delicious in Dungeon, but I think I liked Free Run more. And like you said, the animation I think just sometimes just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything with the
Quite
testing,
literally.
all the
Oh, what?
testing
The test
stuff,
phase?
I
Yeah.
thought was
Sure.
so good, and I had so much fun watching that. I would go with A.
Yeah. Overall, it was a slower burn than Delicious for me. But I think overall it reached a higher peak for me than Delicious did. So yeah, I'll put it in A as well.
All
Oh,
A.
A.
All A. S
Awesome.
from Chad. Ah.
It is number 1 on my anime list, so that's not surprising.
Gotcha.
Out of all anime?
Out of all anime, apparently.
And you almost dropped it, Rick. That's crazy.
Hey, the rule works.
That's crazy. What about, does One Piece grab you in the first 4?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Just wondered.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
You don't remember the first 4 years of us doing that?
All right. Next up is Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah.
I do want to say, like, how cool is it that like this? There's a TV show essentially. I mean, streaming is weird because like I want to say TV show, but it's not like a TV show either
Yeah,
because streaming's
sure,
so weird.
Sure.
But like we get series like this that I feel like this could have been a movie, you know, like in the quality of the production, the creatures that we're
definitely.
seeing, like it just looks so good. But I also really loved Russell's.
Yeah.
Russells,
Kurt and
yeah.
Wyatt like together
Uh-huh.
on that, and the way they did, like, oh man, I love the way they played with like another one of those like let's go back here and then let's go over here and like tell 2 parts of the story as we go, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
For me, it's the best thing in the MonsterVerse.
Yeah,
That was called MonsterVerse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because I watch a Godzilla movie and sometimes the characters are cool and sometimes I'm like, we can get to the Godzilla stuff soon. And for that, it was like the opposite. Like I loved all the characters in Monarch. Don't get me wrong. Whenever cool stuff happened, it was cool, but you cared more because it was happening to people you cared about.
Yeah.
So that was pretty high for me. I think I really liked Monarch.
Yeah. For me, it felt like a movie, but it gave me exactly what I wanted from movies that I wished were shows.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like sometimes movies have characters in them that I just want to see more of, but I don't necessarily need more story. I just need more time with those characters to enjoy them. And this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
It's like what Aaron said, like it felt like the kind of show that could be a movie because it was really great. It told great stories, it had great characters, casting was fantastic. Twists and
especially with like the time
time jump
differences and
everything.
stuff, right?
Yeah. The jumping back and forth and stuff. Yeah, it's just really good. No notes.
All right. Oh, Jake.
And Jake.
Yes.
I also quite liked it. It does have probably the best written characters in the Monsterverse. I agree. Every time Godzilla was on the screen, like the effects were not what you would expect from a TV show.
Agreed.
It looked like it was a movie. Having Kurt Russell talk about Godzilla Just
Right? That's
just
all you had to do.
just having Kurt Russell just have a conversation about like
Godzilla.
the big G man or what he called him.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Was so much fun. Yeah, the big
that
guy.
was just freaking cool.
Um,
And I mean, to the point, like sometimes in the MonsterVerse, like man, I really see Godzilla a lot, but because you have to use his time very wisely. Like it felt like his moments of intersecting the story were more impactful, like more grand, more awe-inspiring.
and I think they did a really good job of like making, because he never really appeared with other monsters much. They did the scale really well.
Yeah, scale was so important for that.
He felt like he was like a storm or like a natural event happening every time he was there.
Yeah.
I do think some of the modern characters towards the end kind of fell off of where I wanted them to be. But I think it's like between an A or a B, and I lean towards A, just because the effects and the weight and the usage of Godzilla was just incredible.
Yeah.
Those are the two letters I was between.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure where I want to put it between that.
Well, I'm gonna stick to A because I'm the Godzilla guy, and I just gotta.
I got to.
I got it.
It's like I would put Porgs lower because I'm the. I think I can go with A. I think just the Russells made me enjoy it so much that, not even counting anything else, the production and all the other stuff too. So, but I really did feel like they were the same person in that show. You know?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go A too.
Cool.
I could be convinced to go B, but I'll go A.
How could I convince you, Eric?
I don't want you to.
I don't want to either. I am also an A.
I only want it if you really want me to change my mind.
Cool. Before we move on to the next one, I just want to
Yes.
make a clarification. When I said Fearin is number 1 on my anime list, I meant the website.
Yes.
My anime list.
Not your
Rick's
anime of all
list.
time.
Yeah.
Be a hell
That
of
would
a
definitely
thing.
be Berserk.
It would be so
Right?
crazy that you did that.
Yeah, and didn't even put in an S.
Yeah.
It is my number one anime. A. Oh.
I love it, but it also ruined everything else.
All right. Next up, we have Mr. Robot, which
Yep.
we are fairly close to finishing.
We're very close. And man, that show, like, if I didn't have the last episode that we watched, that's not even up on early access yet, I would be changing my mind.
Sure.
And I can
get
feel
you.
I feel that way every time I watch it.
No, this show does a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And it plays with so much, which is great. Sometimes I feel like I don't know what's going on, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And then other times they just do something where I'm just like, this, I can't believe they didn't speak a word this whole episode. You know,
Yeah.
like whatever it is, like.
And I feel the frustration a lot, but I feel like frustration is what they want me to feel in those moments, you know? It's a very hard show it's a very hard show to rank having not had the entire thing.
Yeah.
Sure. I do wonder where it's going to end, because I feel like a lot of things for me hinge on like, what has all this been really leading to? I have so many questions that we haven't quite had answered.
Yeah.
And the last time we started getting some answers, I'm like, I didn't even know I wanted. Like,
And I
this is
also,
the
we
answers I
haven't
was looking
finished the
for.
show, so I can't go back and like look up the stuff I was confused about and be like, you idiot, it was in this episode 3, season 3, episode 1,
that's what I
showed
missed.
this thing.
That's what this meant.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know?
oh, I'm just dumb.
Why was this blue? You know, like, I don't know.
She picked up the gun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I would put it at an A for me. It hasn't ventured into S territory, but that's just because, again, like the volatile nature of the show, I just can't, in good conscience, put it any higher because I don't know what happens next.
Sure. I was between A and B. I think because of what happened last, it makes me just really want to put it into A.
Yeah.
Because that episode was so good, the way they did it, it was different, and I liked all the different. Like, I like that they're willing to, like, they don't have their own rules they go by. They're willing to break their own rules and do what they want with the show, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I agree.
I also kind of feel like it might be like Dark, where like the first time I watched Dark, it was awesome. The second time I watched Dark, it was S tier.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll go with A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm exactly everything that you guys both said. I'm also an A.
I think
it does
after-
hinge a lot on how it ends.
After finishing it and like we revisit this, I might be like, you know what? I love it.
Yeah.
There's an S, you know?
Or I doubt it, but they could fumble it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like Lost.
And I would, I mean, even if I wasn't at an A, if I was at a B, like just thinking about its irreverence for its own format, and it's like its own it'll just do whatever it wants to do.
Sure. It
for,
just
for almost no reason.
Yeah.
I kind of respect it because Elliot often finds himself doing stuff for reasons he doesn't understand, but he still has to make sense out of it.
sure, but he still has to follow those rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, some of the not transitions, but you know what I mean? Like the transitions.
Yeah.
choices.
Like there's moments
I
when
know
like
what you mean.
things. Oh man, that was so good. I love those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to A.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I'll wait until we're done with it to see if it's an S.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Which it's probably going to be a while before we rank this again, but
Huh?
we will. A for everybody.
A. S from chat.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Eva. I've been having a lot of fun with Eva. Have we seen enough?
That's my question for you.
I don't know if I've
guys,
seen enough.
is if you've seen enough to rank it yet.
Because I'm really enjoying it, but I don't think I've seen enough.
I think
When I think about it, I think about its potential still.
sure. I've been like I've thought it has been pretty good.
Yeah.
But then things shifted a little bit. I think I've been enjoying it more lately.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious, like just seeing where it goes and how things all fit in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in the last 2 episodes that we've watched, I've liked those a lot. But I don't know if I've seen enough to
Sure.
really be able to be like,
Yeah.
this is where I think it is. If I was gonna rate it now, I'd probably go with maybe a B or so, just because I think it's good. But I don't know. You know what I mean?
It definitely has
I want more
room
story, and
to
I want to see
improve.
I want to see some. The one of the more recent animation fight elements that we saw was really cool. I want to see some more of those too, and I want to get to know these characters more and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like I'm too early to rank. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Eva has always been one of those things where I've kind of window shopped before,
Hmm.
where I'm like, oh, I bet you I know what that's about. And then so far it's that hasn't been about that, But what we've been presented with, I'm like, ooh, interesting to put, that's the story we're telling with Giant Mechs. I'm really interested, but I need more.
Sure.
Yeah.
When I first got access to the internet, the whole world's knowledge at my fingertips.
Mhm.
The thing I had to know was what people thought of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I understand. I
That's
get
the
you.
first thing you did with the
I
internet.
had to find out if you could beat the Running Man Ocarina of Time. And they told me you could, but you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I could rank it, but I don't want to color your guys'
Yeah.
expectations.
Calvin, do you have any thoughts?
I would say it would be lower for me if it weren't for the past 2 episodes, especially this very
The last one that we just
this
did.
very
Yeah.
last one that we did.
So cool.
I have liked shows more earlier on that have drastically changed how much I enjoyed them towards the end of watching them. So I hesitate to put it too high or too low. But I think I would put it at a B right now because it's getting there for me. It's not the most riveting or most interesting show that I've seen, but like I said, I definitely think it has room to grow and to hook me in that aspect.
Sure. There was that one shot that I remember watching and being like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Why have we not moved for 20 seconds? I don't know what this is. What am I supposed to get from this? But I am very curious on what it's going to be. I think if I was going to rate it now, I'd put it at a B and then just wait to see. What is that? I don't know. 9 episodes or so that we've watched maybe?
Yeah. Not very many.
We haven't done too many. So, but that's also, what's this?
Discord, go away.
But yeah, if we wanted to hold off, if everyone wanted to hold off or something like that, I could hold off as well, but I'd probably go B.
If we don't want to rank, I'm okay with that. But if we do want to rank, I'll put it at a B as well. I think I said that already, but
I know Rick said he wants to hold off.
I want to hold off.
You want to hold
Okay.
off? All right, so that makes it a D.
No.
We got to average them together.
well, it's Evangelion, so it goes an E, right?
All right, well, we'll hold off on that one.
All right.
Eric, the next one's for us, my friend. One Piece live action.
Yeah, I've still have yet to see this.
Yeah. Again, I brought this up earlier. I've even though it's been years, I've only seen a couple episodes of the original One Piece. but I evoke the Netflix One Piece all the time. It's changed me.
It changed my scale for how good live action anime can be.
Yeah?
Mm.
Good.
Broke the glass ceiling.
Well, I mean, for shows.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know me. I do not care where you guys put your shows.
Mm-hmm.
I proudly put this in an S because that's how much I care about it.
I'm so torn.
Yeah.
Because my heart says S.
I understand.
I don't know if my head does.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a
What
few...
does your heart tell you?
Oh, no, I mean my heart says S.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But like there's a there's a few like cinematography choices that kind of rub me the wrong way.
Sure.
They are speeding through things very quickly
Mhm.
and leaving some amazing things off the table.
I understand. Though I mean, I do see, a common criticism of the original show is its pace. Like,
Sure.
So, yeah, they're going hard the other way then, huh?
They're going hard
Yeah.
the other way. Man, it's and we're so like there's so much more to go.
Yeah.
That it's tough for me to put it in S right now. I think it's at the tippy top of A, and we might
Gotcha.
need chat in order to break
Yeah.
this tie.
I mean, I can immediately take you back to the penultimate episode when, the village has been attacked and, there's this character that we care about so much.
Yep.
And I know exactly what Luffy's going to do before he does it. And I love when shows can do that. And even though I knew it was going to happen, it still hit me square in the emotion.
Tears streaming down,
Absolutely.
both of us.
Yep.
And the casting is tremendous.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's so good.
Uh-huh.
The action has been really good so far.
Yeah. It's done the best anime live action villain moment for me with the dude with the glasses and the knives for hands
it's
or whatever,
really good.
Damn, that was so good. Like that felt so anime
It
bad
does.
guy to me.
Yeah.
But it didn't come across as corny to me.
No, it doesn't shy away from.
Yeah.
It is adapting an anime.
Yeah. But, I mean, there is corniness, but you're not seeing a whole kernel. You're seeing like the cleavage of the corn. It titillates you a little bit. You're like, oh, this could be a little corny, but it like gets you.
Yeah.
Where the corn silk grows.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Corn cleavage.
Yeah.
My favorite, Aaron.
Never heard of that.
made it
Chat
up.
ranked it as an A primarily.
The cleavage
if
of the corn.
If that helps your tie.
I think that puts it at an A then.
Like I do think that villain is tremendous, but I think them shying away from the awful things that Buggy has done
Yeah,
harms Buggy a little bit.
I get you. I can't factor that in
Yeah.
myself.
It's because you're busy thinking about the cleavage of the corn.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
am.
That would be a different movie than The Children.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it would.
So if they
Actually,
said-
that sounds like a. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's one of
that
them
sounds like
corn hub videos.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry.
so if chat said A, I think that puts it in A.
Hey.
A.
All right.
But I am very excited for season 2.
Yeah.
I trust it's only going to get better.
Gum. Oh, so good.
All right. Well, next up, then we're going to Percy Jackson, another adaptation.
Ooh.
This time from a book or from a different movie.
Yeah, this is one that Jancy was involved with. I have hers here as it's either an A or a B. Storyline could have been better, but the casting and acting talent are great, is what she said. I'm kind of close to. I probably am also B with Percy Jackson. I enjoyed it. I had some criticisms, but I don't think it was necessarily that show. It's probably criticisms with the original story, I suppose, in terms of some things that the show was doing. But I'm a B, I would say, for
Okay.
Percy Jackson.
I'm between.
When it showed Poseidon, I was like, damn right, that's the perfect Poseidon. It was Captain Flint, by the way.
Nice.
And if it wasn't for that, we would not be watching Black Sails with Jancy and Jake right now without that show.
Trying to think about the show. I think the show, like I like the characters in it. I did like Poseidon and Zeus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few things that were a little weird. I remember that I had some issues with here and there. Trying to think of where they take me with things. I think I'm doing a C and a B.
Yeah.
For the show. I think I'm gonna go with C.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I've also never read the original books and
Mhm.
had not seen the live action movies.
I've seen the first movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't read any of the books or seen any of the movies before watching it. I don't know. I didn't enjoy this show as much. I do agree the casting was good. I don't really have much to draw on from like whether the characters are supposed to be the way that they are.
Mhm.
I think that they were okay. I'd probably put it at an E if the casting were not as good as it is.
Mm,
So I will put it at a D.
dang. D for dang. What'd you say, Eric? B?
Yeah. And you said C?
That's where I was looking at. Yeah, it was C. And what was Jancy?
Well, Jancy was A- to B+ is what she has here.
A- to B+.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have a solid
So
one.
like
I'm
a
not
low
sure.
A, high B kind of area.
I think that means that if we all agree B, she wouldn't be upset or anything.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, where do we average now then?
Well, with Calvin's D, me and B,
Even-
Probably like a mid to low D. If
yeah,
that helps.
B?
D.
yeah.
You
I
mean what
C's
you're rating it?
probably where we put
Oh.
it then, I would say, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
All right, put it in C then. For Percy.
Yeah. Perk.
Percy.
All right. Next up we have is Pokemon Concierge.
Oh, dude, I love Pokemon Concierge. What a charming little show.
I thought it was a fun, cute show.
Yeah.
Um,
Cute. It's super cute. It almost doesn't it almost feels wrong to put it on this list. I don't know why.
I get you. Like it deals with like anxiety and stuff
Yeah.
too, and trying to help people in Pokemon, and like
Yeah.
it's not real long. What was it, like
Honestly,
4 or 5 episodes or something?
this
like that?
would
Like,
be my comfort food of a show.
yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Like I could just kind of watch it,
Yeah.
and it's just nice and stuff. Man,
Really love the felt stop motion feel it has.
So is it concierge? I assume is it like dealing with a Poke stop?
there's
or...
like a little hotel, and this
on a
person
tropical
gets like
island.
hired to work at this hotel, and their job is to make sure the Pokemon are having a good time. And like
Okay.
trainers and Pokemon come here to relax, and some of these Pokemon trainers or some Pokemon, like they might be dealing with anxiety, or they have like
performance anxiety, or
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not looking forward to this next battle or something.
I think one Pokemon had like fear of heights and something like that, like that it was dealing with.
Interesting.
And then like this person meets another Pokemon, and they both have their own kind of issues, and they kind of like become friends and stuff from it and everything. And I thought it was a really cute show.
Cool.
I don't even know how to rank it.
Yeah, I know. I
4
think
episodes.
yeah, it's
Barely
only
a
4
show.
episodes. It's real
If I
quick.
could,
Yeah, it's
I would.
Done
cool.
fairly quick. I think I'd put it at like B, maybe. Melanie sent me her thoughts on it. She said that she'd put it at a C. It's super cute and a newer textile animation art. I don't know if I'm a fan of, but it looks like the textile art on the cards, which is fun. Cute story, and I'm willing to watch more. Like, it's not anything that like, it doesn't like blow me out of the water for like what the story is, but I think it's a nice, just
I mean,
feel-good show, you know
its
what I mean?
inception and its intention is antithetical to being placed on a ranking list.
No, as I'm saying,
know,
like,
like,
I
it
think
doesn't-
it's a
yeah.
nice feel-good show,
Yeah.
and is just kind of like, you know, like I don't think animation is anything. Like you don't have like Pokemon fights happening in it or anything. You know, you're just kind of dealing with like kind of like almost like real like stress and anxiety issues and stuff too,
Like personal issues.
and a
not
little bit
like...
of a Pokemon twist of it. You know.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Okay.
So if she says C, I think I'd say probably B.
Jancy puts it at B, and it was too short, she says.
It was very short.
It was. It's like, what, 4 episodes or something?
Yeah, it was only
Yeah.
4 or 5. episodes.
Yeah, B. I'd go B as well.
All right, and we'll put it in B.
Alrighty. Next on our list is another Pokemon for P, Indigo League.
Pokemon Indigo
Aaron.
League. Okay, so I have been watching.
I've seen this too. So
That's
could
true. I don't know which of you
technically
guys have
review
been
it.
seeing. I've seen more now of Pokemon with like Indigo with Ash than I've ever seen before, which is great.
Yeah. Filling in the gaps.
I'd only seen some episodes back when I was younger, and maybe like growing up at some point, watching some maybe with like Leon or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is the first time of watching like all of the show up until the movie.
Okay.
And like having all of that, which was really cool. But if you haven't seen, and I know like we put out a schedule, and I've seen people be like, Pokemon, where's Pokemon reactions? It's on Pokemality. We have like a sister channel that we've been putting all of our Pokemon kind of content on because we've done games and reactions and stuff like that to it. So
Yeah. And we know it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yep. So check out Pokemality over on YouTube. I think I would put it at C as of right now. I think the show's fun. I enjoy it. But there's also some episodes that are a little slower.
I imagine it's going to be in a Doctor Who situation eventually, right?
Right? Like there's going to be like some episodes, like there have been a few fights that I'm like, that was so awesome to watch. And Coulson's kind of in the same way. But then there's other times where like it's just like, you know, it's stills. It's here's Pikachu and he headbutts Weezing, and it's just kind of like that movement. And you know? And sometimes you have it where it's a little lower, and sometimes it's a little higher. So, but it may change, but we are about to get into the actual Indigo League and heading into like the actual tournament arc that we just started. Like the first one was like one of the last ones we watched, and I'm excited to see maybe some like real cool battles from that. I don't know what to expect exactly, but I'm excited for that. So
yeah, I'm right there with Aaron. Pokemon has a pacing problem, and for me, it lives in C because there's some awesome stuff in it, and it's impact on the world is huge. But there's a lot of slow in that show.
So yeah, I'll go with that. Now the movies though, if I just toss in some of the movies, I'm excited to watch those because the first movie's so good.
Yeah.
And I have not seen all the movies. I've only seen a handful of them.
Are the movies connected to Pokemon League directly?
The ones I know of are tied into the main story, but like the first movie kind of does this thing where it's like, well, here's the journey they've been on so far, and then there's an event here, and then like by the end of it, like, oh, well, no one remembers.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's kind of like one of those things where it's like, so this is where it goes, but it doesn't really affect the main show as it goes, you know?
I see.
So yeah, I go C, and I'm excited to see what else they have, or even like, Pokemon Horizons, like if it's going to be any different or anything.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Next up is Queen Charlotte.
Yes.
Queen Charlotte.
A Bridgerton story.
We have Bridgerton in B, I believe. Is that correct? No, it's an A.
Yeah.
There's like 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's fairly short, yeah.
I mean, it did deal with some real tough themes.
Oh,
Yeah.
This one, in terms of its emotion, I put it way over Bridgerton.
Hit
for me.
very close to home for me personally. I thought just that love story is the best one that's been told in Bridgerton so far.
Yeah.
And my personal list, I have Bridgerton as a B, and I have Queen Charlotte as an A. Just because I think it's definitely not as fun as Bridgerton is.
Yes,
Sure.
You're right.
Yes.
But like the characters and the writing and the emotions, I think is all a step above. So
Yeah.
I put it in A, even though that puts it in the same one as Bridgerton. I don't think it's quite an S, but
I agree. It's not an S, but it's definitely up there with all the other A's for me.
Yeah. It's every bit as good as Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Just in different different ways, different manners. Very, very moving story. I didn't think that it was a story that needed to be told when I heard that they were making it, but having watched it, I definitely think that it was worth making, worth telling. The themes that it dealt with were, just very emotional, very heartfelt, very good to watch. Maybe not necessarily enjoyable to watch, but Like, it felt like you healed a little bit after watching the show. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think, production, everything is right up there with Bridgerton. I think the story, though, I really liked. Gave us some more, gave us a little bit more context to some characters that also, I think, help with some Bridgerton story stuff, too.
Yep.
So I would go with A.
Yep.
Anyone against A?
No.
No?
I'm for A as well.
All right. A.
The A's have it.
All right. And I believe that was a B from the poll, so
Interesting.
chat voted B. Which
next-
also, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, the Twitch chat has polls running, so
Yeah.
I don't believe YouTube has polls running. So make sure you guys join us over on Twitch if you want to help give us some thoughts. If we tie up, sometimes we use you guys to help us decide. So
Yeah. It's a tiebreaker. Next on our list is I think it's the
Queen.
first K-drama that we reacted to.
No, there's already one on here.
Is there?
Up here in A, below Clone Wars,
The
is
Glory.
The Glory.
Ah, yes.
This is Queen of Tears.
That's what I was thinking of. My bad.
Hmm.
Queen of
Let's
Tears.
see.
I
I
haven't
got
seen this.
Jancy's Queen of Tears. It's an A. It made me cry. That was the positive. The negative is it made me cry. Acting talent is superb across the board. Filmography and OST are both excellent and beautiful. The light moments shine alongside the emotional ones.
Melanie was also in this one. She was between an A or a B. Said it was a great storyline, wonderful artistic ways of filming.
Yeah.
Actors were great. But why the heck do you want to watch a show that makes you cry? Which this one definitely was a emotional story.
Yeah.
I did like a lot of the characters and everything. They almost always did that thing where it's like, now I gotta wait another episode kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think filming wise was really good. I think the story, some of the twists and things, and it kind of hits a few different little notes as it goes on. They also, I believe, this one had that it had like a crossover that I didn't understand because I hadn't seen something. But I'm sure
who's
people.
that badass attorney?
Yeah.
I want to know more about that.
So
Kind of came and went.
But I mean, overall, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've only seen a couple K-dramas now, I believe.
Gotcha.
I think I'd go with A.
I'd also will go with A. I mean, it's hard to compare it to some of the other shows that are in A, just because its rhetorical goals are much different than some of the other shows.
Right?
But I just love watching. I love watching shows that I don't normally check out, especially international shows, because I love how apparent it is that stuff like comedic timing is just universal. It supersedes language, you know. And watching a lot of Korean shows this year and a lot of other Korean stuff has really highlighted that for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sometimes Korean K-dramas, they hyper, at least I think, they hyper extend, like, the love can go just as hard as the bullying, and the bullying goes real hard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm going like, is this too much? But it's also a drama. It is like a soap opera in tone, but that's not to disparage it. That's to put me in the right mindset. So I would
felt
still
like
be
this
A.
one had the emotional hits, but also was funny too.
Oh, super.
Whereas
funny.
like
Yeah.
The Glory, I really like The Glory,
Mhm.
but I don't feel like I laughed that much during The Glory. I feel like I
Oh,
was either
no.
angry or emotional
Yeah.
or
The
know.
Glory awoke violence in me that I haven't been able to put away.
So all right, so A.
A.
All right, I think A is good. What did Jancy say?
A.
A. And Melanie was A B. So yeah, A is fine. Let's go with A.
Yeah,
Cool.
Jancy's was in fact A+.
Ooh. This next one, we just finished the first season,
Yeah.
The first season?
Severance.
I mean, do we even have to talk about it?
All right, so say letter in 3, 2, 1.
S.
All right, we're done.
We're done.
Yep. That was easy.
I've been telling Melanie she needs to watch this.
Yeah.
This is probably, like, as of late, been like the show where I'm like, is it on, when is it on the schedule? I
Yeah.
really want to watch the next
Yeah.
episode.
I know.
It has been so good.
Iteration.
I've enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, no, I just the theory crafting,
It's
the-
shocking how interesting this
how
show
well
is.
it's done, the acting. I mean, it's 10 across the board. It's and it's just so like I look forward to watching it, and as soon as we're done, I'm frustrated when it ends, and then I get excited again because we get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is peak Blind Wave.
We
So.
like we say we're done talking about it, and we hit the button and we do the outro, and one of us gets up to turn the camera off,
Yeah.
and we keep talking about
We
it.
do.
Like,
Yep.
we'll talk about it after the next show that we react to, because
Yeah.
it just sticks in your mind so deeply.
Yeah.
Such a fun show.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to start season 2.
I know. And maybe that's like also increased my enjoyment because as soon as we finish the final episode, I imagine what it would be like to not watch the next one for 3 years. And then
Yeah, you
because I
laughed at the
don't have to
camera.
wait, it was even better.
Yep.
Oh.
Chat also ranked it an S.
Did you guys see their
79%.
performance that they did at Grand Central Station?
I heard about it.
Haven't seen anything about the show.
Yeah.
They put the main actors inside of like a glass or an acrylic cube, and they had them play their characters for like a long while people just watched them. Like it was as if they were at their jobs, you know, doing their thing.
Oh, like the desk and the
Yeah.
computers.
Interesting. Okay.
So they just
That's
did that.
interesting. Yeah. Hell of an intro too.
It is.
Aaron loves the
Interesting.
balloons.
The damn balloon people.
Nobody cares about your balloon people.
Waffle party tomorrow.
Next up we have Shogun.
Oh, dude.
All right, I'm for alliteration again.
I love Shogun. Yeah.
Man,
I would be easily convinced to put that in S as well. We love that so much that I was begging for a season 2, and everybody's like, "You're not getting a season 2."
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna
And
happen.
then the showrunners came out, was like, "We might do a season 2."
You guys really want this? Huh? Okay.
I'm trying to think of a reason to not put it in S.
Uh huh. Yeah. What's your reason?
No, I'm trying to think of one.
Searching.
I had to read.
I mean,
A. If I had to read, it goes an A.
you didn't have to read,
Uh,
dude. Another fire intro too.
If only you'd learned Japanese sooner, you wouldn't.
I
have
know.
had to read, Aaron.
You're learning too late, Aaron.
I know. I'm on like 90 days.
It's so good.
Yeah, I guess an S. I mean, I love the actors, the production, costumes.
Oh, Hiroyuki Sanada.
My biggest issue with it was I wanted more.
you wanted
Yeah.
more.
You know, so yeah, I'll go with S.
yeah, absolutely.
Rick,
Like,
Rick, were you in Shogun?
No.
Oh, I couldn't remember.
Nope. I
Should've
will
been.
watch it one of these days for sure.
so good.
If you guys haven't seen it, I mean, it's an easy watch. It's one season right now. You don't have to bring anything with you. It's really good.
It's pretty short season as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Everything about it is done immaculately.
Dude, that Severance Shogun 1-2 we just did was nuts.
Yeah,
Chat 79% again saying S.
Yeah.
man, that's the same
Landslide.
percentage as Severance as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, we'll go with S.
I watched a video of a guy going over like Hollywood katana movement and how you're supposed to do things, and he had something to say with every single thing he saw except Hiroyuki Sanada and Shogun. He's like, he's perfect.
Yeah. Oh,
All right, you ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
All right, the next one, continuing S, is Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh, dude.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, we missed one.
I did not.
Not on this list.
Don't believe
Shogun
so.
to Spectacular Spider-Man is my list.
What would be it if we missed it?
Oh,
Ha-ha!
Spectacular Spider-Man, as I said, is
spectacular.
you know what? This show was really good. It also though is another one where I was like, dang man, it's over. I did want more. You
yeah.
know.
It's the only downside because it is my favorite Spider-Man.
I still have the nostalgia for the '90s animated series. But no, this one was good. It had me like questioning some things where I'm like, you know what? maybe it's this person, maybe it's this person, you know,
Yeah. No, yeah.
like tricking me, you know, trying to trick me.
It's not my favorite art style of a Spider-Man show, but it had really good animation.
Yeah.
Sure.
For its
Fights
art
and stuff
style.
are really good.
Yeah.
Not all the fight scenes are bangers, but some of them are bangers.
Bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, I mean, if the way it shocked me by revealing something that I knew was amazing.
Yeah, right.
It does it so well, and I love how it introduces characters before it really introduces the characters. Like they're just there in the world.
That is
That's such a
great.
cool thing that
Yeah.
cartoons never do.
So many cartoons, usually you get them that episode and they're the villain and, you know, that's where it is. But yeah, they knew, like, good guys, bad guys, like you'd start seeing them before they actually even got named, you know?
Yeah.
I really like all the characterizations of the different characters. Eddie does go a little crazy, a little quick.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I love Gwen. I love Mary Jane. Like Flash. I think they're all just fantastic renditions of those characters.
Aunt May.
May.
Hey, man, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would say,
It's hard to rank.
shockingly, I think maybe my least favorite character was Peter. Just
definitely
because he wouldn't
frustrates
fucking
you.
make a decision.
Yeah,
God, man.
you know, he might be the most frustrating Peter Parker for me.
Yeah.
But he should be frustrating as a teenager.
It's a little endearing as well because he's
Yeah,
a,
of course.
he's a fucking idiot kid, you know.
Yeah.
But it's one of my most enjoyable Spider-Man shows.
And he, we didn't get enough of it, but he did learn and change as it went
sure,
through.
yeah.
Sure.
Like he made mistakes, he learned from those mistakes, and unlike some other cartoon protagonists, he continued to learn from those mistakes and act differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, it goes in an A. If I had gotten longer, it could have easily been an S.
Agreed. An A.
This one, as opposed to Shogun, I was like, why should I put it in S from A? And like, I like a lot of bits about it,
Sure.
but yeah, I think I go with A.
Hmm.
I had to warm up to its opening.
I never warmed up to it.
Do you know why it doesn't deserve an S?
I loved it from day
Do you
one.
want to know why? Because of this shit.
You don't like it.
Why do you act like
But you
gotta
do it all the
wind up?
time, Aaron.
Why is it gonna wind up?
Why'd you do it like every episode?
Yeah, it annoyed me.
He's dealing with something.
Oh, that's not how you.
He's healthily dealing with his frustration.
No, it's probably a low A for me. It can't be a B for me. I don't think it's got to be A. If it went on longer, I absolutely agree. It could be S, but it's not there. Oh yeah, a lot of great characters. I love how they, like you guys said, they introduced characters before they had to, so that it just felt like a real school, a real world. People knew each other, and then suddenly there were different connections between those people than they knew before. And I feel like it was a smart young adult show where a lot of other like intended to be young adult shows, they don't do as much footwork, I guess, before they introduce characters.
Yeah. No, that was one of my favorite parts of it, was doing that. Getting to meet villains before they actually became villains and stuff was cool.
And you actually get to see the change rather than just someone bad appeared.
Yep.
You know?
All right. So A, we all good with A?
I'm good with A.
Squeeze it in.
A it is.
Yeah.
That's too damn bad.
All right. On to a show that we just finished season 1 of.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm having deja vu. This is Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll break everything.
Skeleton Crew. What'd you guys think of
Well,
Skeleton
yeah, I mean,
Crew?
we just so recently talked about how we
Yeah.
felt about Skeleton Crew. But I mean, I loved it.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, I could just repeat what I said in the outro of our last video.
Yeah.
Where it's like, for me, Star Wars, I enjoy it the most when it's telling classic stories. And you have a lot of classic stories in this. You have Treasure Island, you have Wizard of Oz, and it takes it in a fun direction, takes it into a new setting, and adds more very interesting world building into the world of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which already has so much.
I think one of my favorite of the series, Disney Plus series. I think it's been one of my favorite. Like, you know, we've had Acolyte and Obi-Wan and, you know, I mean, Bad Batch, you know, like a lot of that stuff has been really good. But the things that this did and how different it was and how Star Wars it felt, but how like 80s reminiscent it felt too was so fun.
Yep.
I think it's a it's a perfect diorama of both of those things mashed together.
Yeah.
And I'm interested, if it's possible, to see more. I'm also very interested to see the implications and impact in the rest of the Star Wars universe. Even if it's just a mention or anything like that. Like, no, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
For being a show about young kids, I think it handled them very well. It didn't treat them like a lot of shows or in a lot of movies treat child characters, like, you know, just whiny or anything like that. Like, you actually got to see the reasons why they were feeling the way they were feeling, and it affirmed their characters more than detracted from them, I would say.
Debating where I want to put it.
It's in a B for me.
A B?
Yep.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. But it's below like a Mandalorian for me.
I feel like I'm at A, maybe. I'm dabbling with S for me, just because like
it's
I
difficult.
loved like Rick, how you said like the world building that they did for Star Wars. It, you know, like the Kenobi series was fun. I liked you know, a lot of that, but it didn't necessarily build on the world itself. It was more character
I
specific,
brought a
you
lot
know?
of baggage with me into Kenobi.
Sure, yeah.
I didn't have to bring anything with me.
Yeah, this is just a brand new group of kids.
Yeah.
You know, and like we're getting to see like pirate stuff in the Star Wars universe, and they're like tossing some new things in there too. And I love 33 and like just some things that like not necessarily that I haven't seen before, but maybe that I haven't seen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
I get you.
Yeah, I mean, you're telling classic stories in that setting.
Like, I would love any kind of setting with this basic plot. The fact that it's also in Star Wars, just I feel like it allows me to enjoy it unabashedly. You know,
And it plays to Star Wars strengths, like some really great creature effects,
Yeah.
like fun space stuff.
I'll be biased and put in S.
You know, I'm kind of glad you said that.
I have a lot of the Star Wars stuff lower than you guys do,
Sure.
but like it's still super solid for me. It's a B.
Like, it's just such a surprising show at how, I don't know, little I was expecting from it and how much I got out of it, if that makes sense.
I think Willow fucked us up.
Willow fucked us
Willow's
up.
fucked up.
I mean, it fucked up you guys. Willow, I didn't have. See, this is the difference, I guess. I didn't have that nostalgia for Willow. I had just seen the movie before you watched the show.
Yeah.
But you guys had years of like this movie being part of your, you know, life. So
Yep.
I can't think of a reason why it can't be an S.
okay, I get you. Eric, where are you at?
Yeah, you know, I'm again, the Star Wars bias is a feature for me.
Strong with this one.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's always funny watching or looking at comments that's being like, "Oh my God, your Star Wars bias is showing." It's like, we know. That's the point.
I mean, yeah, that's
Like, this is a personal
Yeah.
ranking, not like
Yeah.
we're not reviewers in the sense that we're writing
Sure.
a review in like a paper
Yeah.
or something like that, where if pressured, we had to defend our opinions and everything
Yeah, I mean,
from a literary standpoint.
all the Star Wars shows that are currently in A, I understand why they are in A. We have Andor in S, and I understand why it's there. And I'm kind of the same thing. There's nothing keeping it out of S for me because it doesn't have a weakness that I can easily talk about with Book of Boba Fett or Mandalorian or even Clone Wars that I absolutely love.
sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any of those. So, yeah, I'd throw it in S too. So, with Rick's thing, do we throw it into A?
3
Or-
S's and a B.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or how we work
I think it still gravitates towards like low S.
We could let chat decide. I think the math goes to it being like right on the line.
Yeah.
Chat is A if you want to consider that.
so 3 S's, an A, and a B. Where's that put it?
You could convince me.
All right, Rick. What's wrong with this show that it doesn't go in an A?
Yeah, for me, I think it would have been a better movie than a show.
Hmm.
I like some of the stuff when they. I don't want to spoil the show for people who haven't seen it,
Sure.
but when they go to the planet that they think is the planet,
Hmm.
I understand what that is doing, but I think that maybe takes up a little too much time. I think we could cut that and we can get those character moments in other scenes in other places.
Yeah, the thing I think that's nice with that is you get a chance to see like what could have happened or what could still happen.
Yeah.
You know, especially with like, you know, what happens a few episodes later.
Mm-hmm.
It goes against everything in me to convince you to put it somewhere you don't want it. So I can't.
All right. Well, then
I think I refuse.
either put it low S or high A. I don't know where, but somewhere up in there. Put it on the line. I don't know.
I vote low S.
I vote low S as well, but
Okay.
I mean, I vote high S to counteract wherever the B is. No, okay.
Yeah.
S for Star Wars.
S
For
for
space.
Space, skeleton, Star Wars, all has S's.
Yep.
I'll save my arguments in case I need it for later.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, might. All right, let's jump into Succession.
Succession.
Who wants to start off with Now, this is Eric, Calvin, and myself then,
Yep.
right?
Yes, sir.
Succession is an interesting one.
Yeah.
It's very compelling, but the fact that none of the characters are likable or enjoyable to watch.
I get what you mean, yeah.
I can't relate to them at all, and I actively want them to fail.
Calvin's saying everything that makes me want to put in an S.
I want to put it in F to spite those characters.
Like
They don't deserve an S.
like all of those things work against it, but the fact that they all happen to be true and they all work so well together, I think it's an art piece in the way that, like, I don't like that it's art, but I have to admit that it makes me feel a way. You know? Does that make sense at all?
Yes, it does.
Sure.
Shush. I'm just trying to make sure that what I'm saying is actually coming out and making sense
No, I think it makes
to
sense.
people.
See, I mean,
You need some more
I
Greglings
think it
to
makes a lot of
explain
sense.
it.
I think it's easy to like likable characters. It's hard to like unlikable characters. I think that show does the hard work to make you like when they succeed and like when they fail.
I think the thing that fucks it up for me is that art imitates reality,
Sure.
and it's a little too close to reality.
You
for
want
my
to be
liking.
a little more escapism?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's where some of my hang up on it is.
Yeah.
But man, as far as the casting, the acting,
Yeah.
the writing, Like all of that stuff is absolutely phenomenal. Like they made me absolutely hate
cringe.
characters,
Mm-hmm.
and I absolutely loved hating them. And they made me like characters, and then in the next minute, absolutely despise them.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just very conflicted.
I feel like you're talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No,
I
that was
got-
easy.
Some Breaking Bad as well.
Yeah.
Where like they're not good people,
Oh yeah,
most of
absolutely.
them, but
Oh.
compelling characters.
Sure, yeah.
But the fact that I don't like their characters speaks to how well it's made. They're so consistent. I don't know. I'm compromising myself, but I say A. I can't put it all the way up at S
Gotcha.
because it's not a show that I would rewatch and
That's fair.
enjoy, if that makes sense. I have to give it its fair due because it's
I get what you mean. What is it that you're trying to like rate and rank in this?
Yeah.
Is it how much you enjoyed the show? And like, the S ones are like, man, I love this. I would watch it. I would recommend other people watch it. I would watch it again. Like all that is like different kind of elements of it, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh man, I could watch this show multiple times.
sure.
Or I can be like, you know what? I appreciate everything this did. It was great in production, in characters, in writing, and all this. And
Like,
then,
I was
it's
trying
more
to
of the-
find
the art
another-
style of it, right?
Yeah, the art style of it. I was trying to find another show on this entire list that made me feel the same way. And the closest one that I can get to it is The Glory, of just the anger and the resentment and the twisted voyeurism of watching these characters and how they interact with the worlds around them. With their worlds around them, I should say. Man, I didn't expect to talk this much about this show.
I don't know. I feel conflicted on where I want to put it a bit, because I get what you mean. I think like
If it weren't for you guys,
there's
I would not have watched it after like the first few episodes.
sure. I
You
get what
know?
you mean.
Like I said, it's not a show that I would rewatch. It's not a show that I watch for my own personal enjoyment and relaxation. But it is a very interesting and
It's like watching the news and being like, I hate the world,
It's-
right? Like,
it's such a train wreck feeling watching this show. Like I can't look away.
sure, I get what you mean. And I can agree with that. I think when looking at like when you're talking about like the art of it and everything, like I think it does all of it really well. It is a crazy thing to be like, I don't like these characters, but I do want to watch them succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is the difference of like I think Eric brought up Always Sunny, where it's like I hate these characters and usually I want to see them fail and get their comeuppance, Like on this one I was half and half, where like, oh no, they're not gonna make it. They need to hurry up. They're not gonna,
Sure.
And then it's like then I'm like
But
well,
then they do
serves
one-
you right. You should have gotten
Yeah,
that,
but then they do one thing and you completely switch on.
and then I feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think like in comparing it to like the Always Sunny kind of thing, like I would flip flop between them, and I think that's really good on the writing. I think the characters do really good. It really made me love Culkin.
Kieran Culkin.
Yeah, like Karen Culkin was great in that. And while watching that, I also saw damn, what was it? The cool thing, Scott
Save
Pilgrim.
the world. Yeah.
Oh
Scott
yeah.
And he's
Versus
in
the
that.
world.
And oh man, I just couldn't not think about both of those.
We got to appreciate Home Alone a little bit more too, huh?
Sure.
I'm between A and S. I think just I don't think it does anything wrong in the way it does it. I don't think that it's a show where I'm like, oh man, I want to watch this again. I get you there, but I think it does everything very
Yeah.
well.
It's like I don't think that show could
So-
be made better. Right?
Yeah. So it really makes me think of like West Wing, except it's a media conglomerate of people you don't like. I think I'd probably put it in S. I guess just in like what all it does, how well it does it all. I don't know that I would ever watch it again. And I don't know if I'd recommend it for people because I don't know if it's for everybody either necessarily.
Yeah, I would have to know what they were looking for in a show in order to recommend it.
But like, I would jump back and forth on characters so much and be like, good, they should get this, and then oh no, they didn't get that, you know. And so yeah, I think I'll go with S.
Yeah, I would say exactly the same thing both of you have said, just with no hesitation putting an S.
Well, you didn't say anything, and I'm gonna take all that as hesitation.
You hesitated
you were
the most.
last to speak.
You
Eric.
were the
I
last
could-
one to speak, which means you were waiting for us to give you our thoughts before saying it. So hesitated.
I was kind of good for brevity, but I could restate everything you've said. But yeah, I like a show that challenges me. I actually quite like that it's something that mirrors things that I find frustrating and disappointing in reality, and I don't have to bring that into it. Like because in real life, I see something of somebody of incredible power do something that, like, if it's not real and affecting millions of people, it's kind of funny, you know.
Sure.
And I can't do that in real life. So the escapism is that I get to do it. So all
Makes
those things
sense.
are features for me.
Hmm.
So easy S for me.
It's not an easy S, but I don't
Sure.
necessarily have an issue putting it there. I don't think.
Yeah, it's either A or D for me.
I get what you mean.
You know?
You're going into my scale.
No, I think if you watch it at any point, even first couple episodes, I think you'll get the taste that you need to know how you feel about it.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very conflicting show,
That's number 5 in S.
and it is the 4th in a row S, right? Severance, Shogun, Succession, Skeleton Crew?
Yeah.
We skipped Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh,
we
we did.
So you
Yeah.
nope.
Close though.
Speaking of S's, though, our next one is Superman the Animated Series.
Oh,
Superman, the animated series.
Dang it! I think
if it weren't for this last arc,
I loved these last few episodes we've been watching.
Yeah, we're watching World's Finest right now. The first of which will be on early access
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
But I think the reason I like it so much is because of what it's about.
mm-hmm.
I think I would just put Superman in C. I think.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it less than Batman the Animated Series,
Mhm.
but Batman the Animated Series went on so long that it started to be like, oh, it's not perfect, you know. Superman, I just haven't been around with it super long, so
Sure.
yeah, I'd probably go. I'm between B and C with it. It's it's classic, you know.
Sure,
classic
yeah,
Superman.
yeah.
No, I mean, and a lot of the
It's a
episodes I really
classic,
like.
Saturday morning cartoon kind of feel.
Some episodes are better than others. In some sense, kind of like Clone Wars, where it's like I really like Clone Wars, but there's some episodes that just aren't quite as good.
Just didn't hit.
But
Yeah.
Superman, I don't think has like the lowest like Clone Wars episode. I don't think Superman has hit that for
Sure.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think in a sense, like I've enjoyed it enough. But as of right now, what we're almost through the first season. Is that are we in the second season?
Second season.
Second season, yeah.
I think we have a little bit more to go through. I'm fine with C, and I'll see where we're at when we're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I enjoyed Batman the Animated Series more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
No,
I
I mirror
fully
that,
agree with
except I put it in B.
You put it in B. B with Batman.
Not in my list,
Yeah, I had
but in this
Batman.
list, yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it goes in C.
I would put it in C, yes, as well. It might be lower, just because of how much more I enjoyed Batman the Animated Series more consistently. I think there's been some stories that I've really enjoyed from Superman, but that didn't continue, if that makes sense. And obviously, the show hasn't finished. We might get more of that, and I'll be proven wrong. I'd be glad to be proven wrong. If it weren't for the last arc that we watched, it would be in D for me.
Wow.
All right. So where are we at then?
Calvin, you can't
it's
be
in-
wrong.
It's in C.
Yeah, it's in C.
C.
Lives in C.
Calvin can't be wrong. Is that what you said?
He's like, I'll be proven wrong. Like, Calvin, you can't be wrong.
No, I mean, I was talking about the storyline specifically that I felt like, for my own enjoyment, should have continued.
Sure.
Selfishly.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we have Star Wars Tales of the Empire.
Ooh, gotcha.
Tales of the Empire.
Where do we have Tales of the Jedi?
I do not know. I'm trying to find it.
Tales of the Jedi, I think, is in A.
I feel like, there it is in
It's
A.
low A.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that makes sense. Let's see. Tales. I mean, I liked one character more that they covered.
Yeah.
I think for this one, I'd go probably a lower B. But
Okay.
yeah, I think I'd go there.
I'm struggling to like.
Just because it wasn't, I don't know. I loved Tales of the Jedi, especially what they did with one half the episodes.
Yeah.
I'd say out of 6 episodes, 4 of them I really liked, and the other 2 were fine. I enjoyed what they did with those. This one it doesn't stick in my head as much.
Sure. You feel like there were 2 good
might,
episodes and 4 okay ones?
It might be that I
feel?
need to watch it some more or something like that and kind of really get into it. But I'm kind of in a low B. I was thinking about C a little bit there, but I still think some of the story stuff they do with it, and there's a character that I'm really glad they chose to tell their story and where they went, because I had been curious on that. So
Sure. Yeah.
I would go B, I think.
Yeah, samesies. I'll go B. They're not the 2 characters that I would have picked whenever if I was being pitched. All right, I'm making a show called Tales of the Empire. I'm like, ooh, okay. There's a lot of Imperial characters we can go for. Who are you picking? So I wouldn't pick those characters. But that aside, because that's just expectation.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of what we actually saw, really enjoyed it. Loved, especially being able to bring stuff into Morgan Elsbeth's character when I rewatched The Mandalorian now in Ahsoka. But I mean, that's just Star Wars' strength. For me, strength is that it's a living mythology. So as you watch more, it changes what you've seen before. Love the Mountain Clan stuff, the good witches of Star Wars was really cool.
No,
and the General Grievous stuff we can get always excites me endlessly. So easy B for me.
Okay. Rick, you didn't watch that one?
No, I missed that one.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to B for that one then? Did you say something, Gavin?
Yeah. No, it's between B and C for me as well. Yeah, I agree. Low B.
Mm-hmm.
I feel much the same way about I'm glad the characters that they chose gave us more for them. Might not have been my first choice, but I do like how they were talked about and how they connected a few storylines and beats in Star Wars.
But hey, I wouldn't have had a Dooku story in Tales of the Jedi either, but I'm glad we got that.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
that was
I mean, I loved seeing when he was a Jedi, that was
Yeah.
great.
exactly.
All right, well then, next up we're going to Terminator Zero.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, because we have that one episode where Aaron is just
Yeah, what
blitzed.
happened in that one? I had to rewatch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another show that you bring a lot of baggage along with you. as
For
you
sure.
watch.
I think that's the first time I've reacted and then reacted again and be like, I don't remember this. I was in that video, I was there, but I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is an interesting one because I think same studio that did the Ghost in the Shell show,
Uh-huh.
and obviously the Terminator universe is so fascinating.
Yeah.
For me, it's another one I think would have been a better movie.
Mhm.
There's sort of a slow build to what I think is the really interesting stuff that it gets to in the end.
Yeah.
With questioning the purpose of humanity, basically.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me to rank. I put it in B because I really do enjoy that ending stuff.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I quite like, whenever you have these long-running franchises that keep bringing new stuff, they need to, constantly be upgrading the stories for the times, right? And when Terminator came out, it's like, well, yeah, of course, robots taking over is the worst, and we would obviously want to stop that. But this is might not be the worst thing if they take over. Like, can you give me excuses why we shouldn't destroy humanity? And you're sitting there like, so I kind of appreciate that in a sense, but I'm bringing so much baggage into it from previous things.
I really like the main dad's voice actor.
Yeah,
in the show.
He was really good.
I thought he was really good in it.
And I really liked the Terminator. You know, whenever you get Terminators that aren't Arnold or Robert Patrick, they're not always the most successful, but I quite like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was he didn't have like a gimmick, but he did stuff that we never saw before.
I mean, you're right. Is the crossbow arm a gimmick?
Well,
I get what you mean.
not to the point of like liquid metal.
Liquid metal. I mean, that changed
whatever
things
the
so
third one
much.
is.
I get you. Yeah, you're right. That's not a gimmick. That's just a cool thing he did on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Dark Fate does.
Oh,
Yeah.
No one does.
I think I'll go with
one day we were so close to watching Dark
We were
Fate.
so close.
We didn't.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with C.
I think C is fair.
I think
Okay.
I think the show's fine. It didn't. I think like Rick said, I think the ending stuff has some real cool elements to it. There's a few things in the beginning I think that are okay, but I don't know. It didn't like. I don't know if it necessarily blows me out of the water with anything. There were some cool things I like, and there's some things that are just kind of all right.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything necessarily like bad in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think C is where I'd put it.
Yeah. From the one episode that I watched, I would say probably a C as well.
Oh yeah, you watched that one that I don't remember. I didn't
Yeah.
remember. Huh?
Yep.
I forgot.
That was so fun.
I forgot. I
I'd be
thought you
willing
were
to
in
put
it.
up a whole letter grade just for that.
No.
C?
C. I think we all said. Rick, what'd you say?
B.
I think he
B?
said
I was
B.
gonna say my C was a little more of a question mark. C? I'm more of a B, I think. Honestly.
B?
Yeah. I liked it more than a lot of the things that I see in C. I don't know why we have Always Sunny there, but yeah.
Because of me, Eric.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Because
he
of me.
left. He left now, so it might go up. Who knows?
Too much power. Yeah, I'm a B for Terminator.
Rick would hate Succession.
Oh my god.
I think you do. Maybe.
So probably B. Then for that.
It was 2 and 2.
I think
What?
Logan.
I mean, do we count Calvin's one episode watch?
Oh, okay.
No. Sure. That is 1/10 of a C.
And it wasn't even like the first or the last. He watched that random
It
episode
was
4 or
like
whatever in the
episode
middle.
4 or episode 3 or something.
Something in
Yeah.
the middle of it.
There's no way.
I think Rick might dislike Succession, but I think he'd really enjoy Logan Roy.
Sure. I think you could like characters and still like dislike the show more, you know.
I think he would like Tom.
All right. Our next one we're moving into is Star Wars The Acolyte.
The
Oh.
Acolyte. The Acolyte
Yeah.
had some of my favorite things that happened to me all year.
Yep.
With that lightsaber fight in episode 5.
That's in my top 3 Star Wars lightsaber fights.
Wherever it goes, that
Live
lightsaber
action.
fight puts it up a letter grade.
I love the lightsaber fight.
Yep.
I will say that Skeleton Crew made the performances of the child actors in the Acolyte not as good.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I know Rick did not enjoy that well,
Yeah.
and I know I was like, I mean, they're kids, so I don't want to be too harsh on this either. But like
Yeah.
after also seeing what Skeleton Crew did with their kids, I'm
Yeah.
like, man, those kids were real good with it, and I bought
Yeah.
a lot more of what they were saying than what Acolyte
Sure.
did.
Yeah, the main characters of Acolyte is the weakest part of Acolyte, which is a shame because I think there's a lot of good things surrounding it. I really like the villain.
Yeah,
Oh,
the show.
dude, the Stranger's so cool.
Yep, he's so cool.
Oh.
Some of the different environments they go to are awesome.
Yeah.
I like the premise that the Jedi are not all good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Especially in that era.
yeah, for sure. So like, there's a lot of stuff I like, but the core of the show drags it down for me so much. It lives in C for me.
I think it's a C, but I move it up the letter grade to B for the lightsaber fight. Oh, and also just especially Master Soul. Like,
and Soul, yeah.
like Soul's fighting style, so good. One of my favorite Jedi fighting styles ever. And that's
saying a lot.
that's extremely high praise for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Manny Jacinto's ferocity in his fighting. Just
Mhm.
it puts it up to B for
And
me.
you get a headbutt on a lightsaber.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
you do.
Sith kebab.
Yeah, Sith kebab.
Whatever happens to that production crew, please keep the lightsaber crew just working. They don't need to do everything. I don't want someone to take over everything, but I want them doing something, just so I can think that I'm going to see something new from them again one day.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some fun stuff. I really wanted to see where I was going to go with things.
Yeah.
I think like maybe hang on. Oh, hey Kathleen. Yeah. Oh, that much? Okay. A B.
Oh, okay, a B. Yeah, okay. I might go away. Well, she might. Yeah, the bid's coming in. I'll go away.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's so much crappy baggage with the show when it's in my head because of the fan culture around it.
None of
Yeah.
that's there. I just think of the lightsaber fight.
I love the lightsaber fight so much.
Strive to be like you.
So I was a C.
I'm a B.
Eric was a B.
I'll go B.
Aaron's B.
Yeah, I'm a high. No, I'm a B.
All right, B it is.
B it is.
And
There is a darkness in your heart. Oh, he's so good.
like of almost any show that is in B or lower, I think it was the closest to being an S.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just because I love the other elements so much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it had all the pieces.
Definitely.
All right. Speaking of B, the next one we have is the bear.
Oh, man, the bear. We didn't have the bear at all last year?
Huh? No. What?
Damn.
We
it feels
finished
like
the bear.
We watched it all last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
we did-
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. We didn't have the bear at all on this.
No,
Not
and
previously.
at the
Last time.
end of 2023, we hadn't watched the bear.
Feels like it's been with me for a
We
really long time.
started the bear after Shogun.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Bear's pretty good. I've enjoyed it a good bit.
I think the bear is an S-class drama.
Oh, do I want
But
to put an S?
a C class cooking show.
No, it's an S-class cooking show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. Like I feel pride for the characters. You know, like I do that with Naruto. I do it with Luffy, and I do it with Cousin. I feel pride for a character and their growth.
Hmm.
But how is it as a comedy?
I mean-
I don't feel like it's really that much of a
don't
comedy.
think it's a
I feel like it's
comedy.
much more of a drama, even though it's listed comedy. You know,
Because it was up for a comedy award. Right?
It
Won.
was.
It's won.
It won.
It did.
All
I
right.
think it's funny, but I don't come back every week for its humor.
I do not. I don't come back every week for its beep beep beep. You know what I mean? Like those things
Yeah.
too. Like I get so like stressed watching this show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Succession was funnier than the bear.
I mean, I'm between an S and an A for the bear.
I am too. I'm just kind of debating. I mean, I'm trying to think of. I don't know. I like the characters. I really disliked one, and I like him a lot more, and I loved his growth, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I was so proud of him. I'll go S, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. I may drop it maybe depending on how they continue the show, because I'm pretty sure there's more coming. But yeah, I'll go S for now.
It's I don't know. It makes me feel some of the same feelings as Succession did, but not to the same degree, if that makes sense. Like I can't give it props for being as much of an art piece as Succession. I don't think it's different art, and me not liking the characters or actively disliking the characters isn't the factor. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have less issues with the bear than I do Succession. Like I was debating on Succession being in an S. I think the bear, like the characters, I actually like, and I like seeing them grow, and I want to see them grow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess my hang up, like, it feels like there's nothing that is keeping the characters from succeeding the way I want them to.
Except for themselves.
Well, I don't know. Sort of, yes. But like I almost feel like I have seen some character growth from them. I should see some change. And I don't.
No, we are. We have been seeing change from the beginning of the seasons to now, you know?
Yeah,
It's
a lot.
It's tough.
I feel like there's been a lot of change for a lot of characters, and we're keep seeing it, you know? And like the relationship with like the family and stuff, and the way that goes, and like the partnership, like kind of, you know, hinging back and forth a little bit. Like, I mean,
I guess I could say to Calvin, like, I agree in the sense that it doesn't feel like conventional television character growth. It feels more like real people, real time growth to me.
I get what you mean. Like,
yeah.
Like in real life, when people have little bits of growth, you don't get satisfaction immediately. And that's what this show does.
But I feel like sometimes we get like huge like learning and teaching moments from characters, and it takes a while for the growth to actually swing.
It takes a while for changes to take effect too, you know, especially in practice. Like you might have growth personally, but then getting that to change in practice within the business and everything else sometimes takes time, I think. So I think it reflects pretty good in like a general like real life sense, I think. Whereas Succession, like my thing with that was like, I don't like these people. and I root on them, and the writing's really good. But in The Bear, like even the ones I don't like, seeing the growth, Vac or Richie, you know, like seeing the changes they've made and the growth that they're doing. Vac is not great by what we've seen so far, but he's grown more from where he started, you know, but he's not like amazing yet. But I think we just keep seeing little growth, and we're just seeing that progress happen. So I like that.
We also had a moment where it's like, oh my God, it's John Cena.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
As a complete surprise, Rick.
But no, I mean, there's some cool artistic stuff they do, but I think the characters is my favorite thing. Whereas like Succession, I think does really good stuff, but the characters kind of are like not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Though I still like them.
So where are you at, Calvin?
I don't know. I'm kind of like a low A, high B.
Okay.
I feel like season 1 and 2 had like it had me, and I feel like it kind of dropped off in season 3. Like there was definitely some storylines in season 3 that I absolutely loved. They were probably like my favorite moments of the show. I just felt like they were fewer and further between than
like a little bit more spinning of wheels or something kind of thing. Maybe. Okay.
Spinning plates.
Spinning of plates, sure.
It felt like there were large time jumps, but it still felt like no time passed, if that makes sense.
Well, then go. Which one you want to go with? Eric, what about you?
S.
Oh, okay.
What do you say?
S.
I
No,
probably would
not
go with,
you, Eric.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
done talking to you.
I was between A and S, but I think if I'm going to put Succession in S, I think I would put The Bear in S.
Okay.
Yeah, chat was like, Fac pouring the broth. Like, okay, you take it to the table, you pour the broth. He's like, okay, this is our broth. Look, there you go. Thank you. And he walks away with it.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where it's like he's growing, but he's not there yet, you know?
Sure.
I love that.
I'll put it in A.
And it is funny. All right, so 2 S's and an A. So I guess we just put it in an S area.
Yep.
All right. See if we can get these last 3 done, maybe? Oh, man, it's 4:59. The next one's Fall of the House of Usher.
Well, that should be short.
That one, Eric, that's your first Mike Flanagan show. You've never had one before. What did you think of Fall of the House of Usher?
Man, it was a really fun show. I normally do not gravitate to horror, but that one had I don't know, there's just like a special sauce to it that kept me engaged the whole time. Yeah, it's hard to describe a little bit.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Melanie said that she would put it in A.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a Mike Flanagan show, who is hands down an amazing storyteller.
Yeah.
If life gives you lemons, then make a lempire.
I mean, I loved the Edgar Allan Poe lean in.
Mm-hmm.
Just some great cinematography, some really fun ideas, some real psychological horror, some body horror. I mean, it has like, if you like horror, it's a library of horror. It's not one genre of horror.
Yeah.
It has everything in there. Yeah. Like, you know, it's not in the business of trying to like overly scare you as much as it is to like fear for people.
It's not like Friday the 13th or
Yeah.
something, right? Like,
To be fair though, it will still jump scare you, but
Sure.
in real fun ways,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, I would say I'm between an A and a B.
Sure. I think I'd put it in A.
Yeah.
I think. There's Haunting of Hill House up in S right now. I think Midnight Mass is either A or S, somewhere in there.
Midnight Club is A.
Gotcha.
Midnight Club is A.
Midnight Mass is A.
Yeah, like Midnight Mass and
I've heard good
Haunting of
things.
Hill House, I think, are my favorites of his.
Yeah.
This one is up there though with Midnight Mass. So I think I would put this in A as well, and Melanie did too.
Yeah.
So let's go with A then. You guys want to try to do the last two?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
I'm fine.
All right. Next one then is The Penguin,
Oh,
which
what a show.
this is one of those I think we talked about something before where it's like I didn't know what to expect from this,
Yeah.
and it was really good.
It was really good.
It was really good.
We watched a thing the other day that had penguin in it, and like it was the first time I'd ever seen like penguin and being like, oh, that's not the penguin I want. Yeah, dude, Colin Farrell as the penguin was a revelation. And even like, you know, way better than I found him in the Batman movie.
I did not. I mean, I need to watch it again maybe, but
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily love the Batman movie.
Yeah.
You know, like it wasn't like my favorite of the Batman movies that
I
I've seen.
really
you
enjoyed
know?
it on rewatch, but it was, in terms of like the first watch, not as good for me. But there's just something about watching the Penguin week to week that we would, every time we would be done, it'd be like, how is this show this good?
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Yeah, it was
Quite
nuts.
surprising.
It's another one of those things like Agatha, where it's like, hey, I hear this is going on. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right.
Do you want to watch? Sure, I'll watch. Sure. And now I'm so happy that I watched it.
I don't know where I want to put it because I think it's at least an A.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks S, but I feel like we put a lot of S's in today.
We've watched some good television
We
this
have
year,
watched
man.
some really great short TV shows.
What
this
on
year.
S says there doesn't belong?
Like, yeah, a lot of that stuff was high up in the recommendations, which you can do right now over at blindwave.com. So, like, I'm not surprised seeing a lot of these shows in S.
Yeah.
Sure.
The number of S's should not discourage you from putting something in S.
Whenever.
Yeah, it does
not a
because I
problem
feel
with
like
me at
S's should
all.
not be too overly filled, you know?
Oh, I don't
But
care.
this is a different scale than
I don't.
most other bell curved scales.
I will not
because
artificially change
we're
my.
being given the cream on top
Yeah.
Yeah.
to watch, and we're ranking the cream.
Sure. Eric, I'm not asking you to change anything.
And
I'm gonna say
Let
I will not
me-
arbitrarily
let me debate
change
my
anything
stuff.
for the
And don't-
appearance of
and
objectivity.
don't interrupt Calvin trying to
I
trying to
apologize.
change my opinion.
I apologize.
I'm not trying to change anybody's opinion.
I
I'm
just
just
if,
trying to
I'm-
contextualize.
if we're gonna do this, like I abhor the like I don't want an S to be too much. It's like if you feel like it's S, it's S.
No, I think S's should be the cream, but also this isn't all mine, right? This is
Next
You know.
year, we just get rid of tiers and rank from 1 down.
what?
Oh, you mean like 1 through
Yep.
infinity? And like
This is
I
the
think
best
this
show.
is slightly
This
better
is
than this
number
one,
2.
but
This is
slightly
number
worse
3.
than this.
I gotcha.
Hard mode.
I'll
We're
rank,
almost at
I
200
rank
shows.
that idea F.
Yeah, I don't know. I put it at S. I'm just worried because I know what the next show is.
Ooh, baby.
Penguin is S.
I
For
haven't
me.
ranked it yet.
Calvin didn't rank it. Calvin, what'd you think?
I meant for me.
No, I hadn't yet.
I guess Melanie says, The Penguin, S, amazing. The story is amazing. Makes me always want to come back and watch more. The makeup is so real and amazing. Colin Farrell's unrecognizable. His acting's phenomenal all the way to his walk, and all the supporting actors were also amazing. The story is great, and I've never rooted for the bad guy so much in my life. All
Dude,
right.
yeah, that last
it.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh, rough. Dude.
Good words, Melanie.
So
I
I'll
was
go
gonna
with
say
I'll go
those
with S.
exact same things. Yeah,
S.
it can't be an A
All right.
for all the good that was in that show.
It was great. I
Like-
do love the makeup.
Yeah, Kristen and Colin just absolutely fucking blew everything else out of the water.
For
Like,
all, oh sorry, go ahead.
I shouldn't care for the villains more than the heroes in that universe, but I do. You know?
Yeah.
For all the DC we have watched, I think that's the first DC and S. Congratulations, the Penguin.
All right. Well,
Last one on the
our
list.
last for unranked shows. This is not counting anything that we've continued last year.
True.
Is X-Men 97.
It is the best thing that Marvel has put to screen.
What?
There's not a close second.
What?
This is his opinions.
Oh,
It's okay.
okay.
He cannot be wrong about his own opinion.
I just asked what? I thought I misheard him.
I just have to mentally put in, like, I think this is the best thing that Marvel has put to screen.
But my
Rick,
only
say more true
Rick
things.
doesn't say those words.
He doesn't say the words, but I have to put them in so that I don't interrupt him.
negative is it felt like they introduced Roberto to be a major part of the show,
Mhm.
and I didn't feel like they handled him very well, and he was kind of cast to the side for much of the show.
I understand what you mean. Like, for me, he kind of took Jubilee's spot. I'm glad that Jubilee kind of graduated from that spot,
Yeah,
you know, so we could see growth with her. But I understand what you mean there.
but that is my only negative.
Yeah.
It
man,
is
just
incredible.
absolutely incredible. It's one of the few shows this year that I actively searched for multiple reactions across the YouTube verse to watch, just to relive some of those moments. The Genosha episode 5. Every episode had banger moments.
It's got to have my second favorite villain, I think, of all these shows on this list. Magneto's just incredible.
Incredible. You have another name.
So where are you guys at?
S.
SS. Calvin, where are you at?
The writing feels Shakespearean. I'm sorry, Calvin.
No, it's good.
Shakespearean, huh?
Like, some of these shows I've definitely talked, I feel like, way more than everyone else combined.
Yep.
Succession, for instance.
So
it-
Calvin and I both joined into having none of the previous
Yeah,
X-Men
sure.
yeah.
show that we really watched.
Like, this changed my perception of how good, like, 90s cartoons about superheroes could be.
They weren't S. I like them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're not S. But yeah, you're right.
And, like, think of how close it got in the art style.
Uh-huh.
You know,
it's
not
music.
not having as close a connection to the voice actors and stuff,
Yeah.
because, you know, I didn't grow up watching these shows. I didn't know anything about what story arc we were going to be going into, or, you know, which characters or versions of those characters. Like, it was completely new and fresh for me.
Yeah.
But damn, I got hooked so quick.
Yeah.
Um,
They're just every episode has a moment, man.
like,
The virtual reality one is the weakest episode.
Yeah, that's episode 4.
It's not a bad
3.
episode, but all the
Episode.
other episodes are just so incredible.
Though I do like its peak into like the potential that Jubilee could hit. But yeah, I do agree. But I mean, dude, like, you know, Cyclops coming down like a fiery angel. You know, Magneto, like, I could smite you under my boot if I wanted, but, you know, a man has challenged me to remember this vision of Earth. Oh, so good.
Mm.
The name's Gambit, mon ami. Remember it.
you already rank it?
I haven't yet. I was waiting on
Got
you
it.
to finish. Yeah. We have 2 S's so far, Calvin.
I know. I really can't reason why it should be any lower than S. It tells so many different stories about, like, oppression and acceptance and, like, self-identity. it's just a fantastic story, along with the traditional like fighting the big bad with your friends. Yeah, it's got to be S for me.
Goblin Queen. S.
Damn it! I knew you were waiting.
All
for
S's.
some fucking
Yep.
reason.
As soon as that happened, I
Damn
knew.
it!
I mean, of our S class, if we were to ever put a class above it, I would have a hard time like, okay, which one am I going to move up there? But X-Men would move up there. That's how much I love that one.
What would move up where? What were you saying?
I would put X-Men above the rest of S class. Like I would easily do that with no negotiation.
Gotcha.
X-Men is tarnished by some of those shows.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's all of our unranked shows, but we have not done the re-ranks. There's a lot of shows that continue that we got another season for, or that we were in the middle of and finally finished as we were going through last year. So we have to rank a lot of shows still, but those are going to be next Thursday.
Yes.
Yep.
So before we end, though, I know there was a few super chats. Joel had one over on YouTube. Hi, thanks for all the fantastic reactions. Plus, Rick, do you know that the Haikyuu movie released a while ago in English? Really looking forward to that.
Yes, I hope to watch it soon.
Cool.
Also, Lewis Newman with a super chat says, will we get Rick Reacts to Inhumans, or is that not possible now?
It sounds like my kind of show.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be. I don't know. I'm afraid Rick would like it.
Maybe that could be a No Good November special next year.
Oh
maybe.
man, no
Yeah.
good November, and we rewatch Inhumans with Rick.
Oh man.
It's not super long, at least.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What is it, like 7, 8 episodes or something?
Not real long. No. All right. We do have some subs and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to go through those real quick. I don't have it opened yet, though.
Either.
I don't. I don't even have a screen.
You don't even have a screen. Let's see. I'll thank Stormy Boy for a resub. It's 64 months. Thank you to Sammy Boy resub as well for 20 months. Dark Superman, thank you so much for the resub. For 2 months, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Leewick resubbed 51 months. New Year and 51 months and Happy New Year to the crew. I might have missed some
Thank you,
other
Leewick.
reads before. Sorry
Happy
about that.
New Year.
Ben Jones 2004, thank you so much for the resub with Prime. And don't forget, if you do have Prime, you can use it on Twitch as a sub. You just get a sub for free, which is awesome. So don't forget to use that. We have Plain Double Cheeseburger with a resub from Prime. Thank you so much. Daniel JPB with the resub as well. Thank you so much. A bit late. We'll probably have to check out the first half hour. I missed after you're done here. Also, hell yeah, 14 months. Thank you so much for the 14
Daniel.
months, Daniel. Moon Empress resubbed for 7 months. Wahoo, 1 year and 2 months of the best wave squad. Here's snacks and justice for everyone. And then a lot of emotes with juice.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, juice. I don't know why I got justice.
Thanks.
Twisted King with a resub. Yay, show rankings. No better way to start off the new year. Right, Eric?
Right.
Undead has resubscribed for 16 months. Thank you so much. I'm Dutch Step has resubbed as well for 6 months. Ranking Time, let's go. Death has resubbed for 18 months as well.
Death.
Fried McGibbs resubbed for 55 months. Thanks for all you do. Helped me through the toughest times. So thank you so much, Fried McGibbs, and glad we could help. Mad Noel has resubbed for 31 months. Yay, best day of the year. Hype. Tetsuo resubbed for 67 months.
Thank you.
Shadow Alex resubbed as well. Hope Superman and Lois makes it to S tier. We'll have to see next week where it ends up. I'm all about that Ash. Resubbed for 20 months. Thank you so much. Dale Cog resubbed for 34 months. Please don't make any rankings I don't agree with. Thanks. / JK.
No problem.
Dickus Bickus has resubbed for 72 months. Nice to see you back for the podcast. And RIP David Lynch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Arrow to the Face has resubbed as well. Happy Thursday to the Blind Wave boys, crew, and everyone in the chat. Much love to all, and let's have a great stream.
Thank you, Arrow.
Ryan Whittleson resubbed as well. It's been a while due to work, but I'm off for 3.5 months, so back for live podcasts.
Awesome.
And I believe that's the last one I have, at least on the list. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we also have EJ Brock, subscribed with Prime. Laserboy gifted 3 subs.
Thank you so much.
Make sure you thank them for that. Very generous. And Gongi Bongi subscribed tier 1 for 39 months. Oh, wow. Been a hot minute, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Gora just came in with a 24-month Prime streak.
Yep. Nice.
Thank you, Gora.
Thank you guys so much. We will be back tomorrow.
We will.
With Baldur's Gate. It has been a couple months since we've gotten to play Baldur's Gate 3.
It's been 3.
I'm so excited.
So make sure you guys join us for that. And then next Thursday, we'll be back with more of our tier ranking. Monday, I should be back as well with Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls.
I am still on that same damn boss.
Same boss.
Yes.
And have to watch Neil Breen. And
More Neil Breen.
all right. I think that's everything, guys. See you guys tomorrow for Baldur's Gate. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.